Well, we are diving straight into the news coming in on the hearing in the top court. Right now, the latest flashes on your screen. Sanjay Hegde appears for the petitioners and the protesters. Aarey hearing has begun in the Supreme Court. Couple of questions raised by the top court on this. And we're just going to bring you all the latest updates right here. Remember, this is a big day today. The Supreme Court is today hearing the issue of Aarey colony. Aarey hearing has already begun. This is the major face-off between the Maharashtra government, MMRC, the Mumbai Metro Corporation Limited on one side, and on the other side, student petitioners, student activists who wrote a letter to the Chief Justice of India. That letter has been turned into a PIL, which was taken suo motu by the Supreme Court, and an urgent hearing was called for today. That hearing is currently underway. The Supreme Court, we are given to understand, wants to know whether Aarey comes under the definition of a forest. That's the first question that we heard was posed by the top court. At the moment, we are also receiving information that the court has asked for proof of eco-sensitive zone. Remember, we are going to just update you with the fresh information coming in. The Aarey hearing currently is underway. Some of the questions that are being asked by the Supreme Court, some of the issues that are being thrashed out at the moment. Remember, it's going to be a heated exchange, a heated argument from both sides coming completely prepared after the High Court order that had dismissed the petitions challenging the felling of trees. In fact, just to take our viewers through the arguments on the side of the MMRCL, it claims that it had planted 24,000 trees. The MD, in fact, justified the destruction in a tweet, saying in order to build something new, some destruction is inevitable. Facing flack from green activists for felling trees in part of the Aarey colony for the metro car shed, the Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation Limited, MMRCL, posted a video, in fact, claiming that it had planted 24,000 trees across the city, even as its MD, Ashwini Bhide, justified the inevitable destruction, saying it paves the way for new creation. Bhide has retweeted a video by the official handle as well. So on the side of the MMRCL, we hear that enough and more steps are being taken to convince the court that the felling of trees is being adequately compensated by taking certain measures. My colleague Sanjana Chauhan is getting us more details now on the hearing that is currently underway. So, Sanjana, the first important thing is that courts rely on evidence, courts rely on proof, and that is what it seems that the top court is asking now, that where is the proof that Aarey is a forest? Is it under the category of a declared forest? Take us through the important observations that we have accessed so far.
Right, Afrida, let me just first let you know that Meenakshi Bhanja is currently giving us details of what's happening in the Supreme Court hearing as we speak. We're trying to connect with her in just a moment, but this is what's happened in the Supreme Court so far. The petitioners are a group of students, they're a group of law students who came together to write to the CJI and said that he must intervene. So Supreme Court's formed a special bench to hear this case. Now, what's happened so far in the hearing is that the Supreme Court basically has asked for documents, has asked for concrete proof to show that Aarey is actually a forest. Now, the petitioners who are being represented by Sanjay Hegde and Gopal Shankara Narayanan have been saying that Aarey is a forest. There are over 5 lakh trees that are there. There are lakes, there are rivers, there is an ecosystem that is present, and they even tried to show documents to prove that Aarey is a forest. But the Supreme Court is very clear, saying that, you know, this is just not a specified area. This is not concrete proof or evidence of the same, and has also observed that no more trees should be cut until and unless there is an environment.
So Sanjana, I'm just interrupting you here because we are getting inputs now, fresh inputs, that the Supreme Court has said that no more trees are to be cut. A status quo has to be maintained. Let me go across to Meenakshi to get clarity on that. Yes, Meenakshi.
Well, Afrida, another high-stake hearing, commencing here in the Supreme Court, and big developments happening where the Supreme Court, like you rightly mentioned, wanted to understand from the petitioners that where is that document, where is that notification which puts this area in the category of forest or ecologically sensitive zone. That document, the petitioners were not able to furnish satisfactorily to the Supreme Court satisfaction, but we are having an assurance that is coming in from the Solicitor General, who is giving an assurance to the Supreme Court that the Maharashtra government will not be felling any more trees. And the Supreme Court is also hinting at maintaining status quo till the legality of the order of the Bombay High Court can be examined in greater detail. So that is the development which is happening as we speak. Remember, we are in the midst of the hearing as we speak. The proceedings are still underway. The operative part of the Supreme Court's ruling still has to take shape and form. There are
Yes.
discourses and discussions which are happening inside the courtroom as we speak, but the broad contours are emerging. One, the wider aspect of the legality of the Bombay High Court's ruling needs to be examined in greater detail by the Supreme Court. That can happen in the foreseeable future. In the interim, the Supreme Court is hinting that the status quo has to be maintained, and we are hearing from the solicitor who is representing Maharashtra government, who is going on to tell the Supreme Court, and I quote, "Please record my statement that whatever cut is cut, but no more will be cut." So
Okay.
what he's telling the Supreme Court is that there is an assurance that is coming from the solicitor on behalf of the Maharashtra government that whatever trees have been cut or axed, they will obviously be cut and axed, but furthermore, axing or cutting of the trees will not happen. So that's the big twist and the big development which is coming in from the top court as
Okay.
we speak, Afrida.
Yes, Meenakshi, even as you were speaking, we were looking at some of the flashes. Apparently, the top court has, like you said, asked for a document that substantiate those claims about Aarey being a forest or Aarey being an eco-sensitive area. At the same time, the Supreme Court, apparently, from the side of the petitioner, some documents are being produced. Is that correct, Meenakshi, that some documents to prove that Aarey is a forest have been furnished?
Well, yes, Frida, some documents have been furnished, but whether those documents are satisfactory, on that the Supreme Court's opinion is not fully known. At one point in time, the petitioners were unable to show the relevant documents which categorically shows this particular area as a forest land or ecologically sensitive zone. Justice Mishra went on to observe, but how do we conclude that this is the same area? You are showing nothing, unquote. So that was a little earlier in the hearing when he made that observations. And as we speak, the Supreme Court, the latest that is happening, Frida, is this,
Yes.
that the solicitor has given an undertaking for the Maharashtra government. He is asking for the Supreme Court to record his statement saying that whatever trees have been cut, they have been cut, but no further trees will be cut. The other update that we are getting for our viewers at this point in time is that the Supreme Court is saying that release all arrested persons. If anyone is still in custody, please release them. So
Okay.
that is another directive which the Supreme Court has put out for the Maharashtra government to comply with. Remember, the orders are yet to be pronounced on this one. We are
Yes.
getting to, for our viewers, things that are panning out inside the courtroom in real time as they are
Yes.
happening, as they are being deliberated, discussed. Because, when the matter is being argued, which is of this magnitude, which has wide-scale political implications, there are a continuous back and forth which is being exchanged between the counsels and the bench. And
Yes.
those are the exchanges which give you an insight into which way the matter is likely to go or not go. For instance, this assurance that has come by from no less than the Solicitor General is huge
Yes.
because clearly the Maharashtra government has decided that it is perhaps better to wait it out till the Supreme Court really goes ahead and, examines the entire legality aspect of the Bombay High Court ruling, then continue to dig its heels deep before the top court and insist on felling of the trees. Therefore, whatever trees that have been felled and axed, they will obviously be felled and axed, but the assurance that is coming by is huge from the Maharashtra government before the top court, where it is saying that no additional trees will be felled or axed. Afrida.
Yes, absolutely. So that's the big breaking news coming in, that the Supreme Court has categorically said that there will be no more trees that will be cut. Don't cut any more trees till Environment Bench hears it. Maharashtra government on its part assures the top court that no more trees will be cut.